What's up, everyone? Mike Gross here. YouTube.com/rockinguitarlessons1. Of course, you know that because you're here. Well, you may not know. Maybe you just saw Mike Gross or whatever. Anyways, this is what I call a CVT mini guitar lesson. But before I start it, quick story. Kevin Elliott has been a friend of mine for a long time. As a matter of fact, I met him as a guitar student. I'm talking years ago, man. How long's it been, Kevin? And I knew when he was my student that he was one of those, because he was probably 13 at the time. Maybe, yeah, he was probably 13. That had that extra something. This dude picked up everything I taught him super quick. He was very diverse, man. He'd go from Blink 182 to Slayer. But not just because of that, but just Kevin had that something, man, that I could tell. And then shortly after that, his friend Evan started taking lessons from me. This is when I taught in Riverside out of a music store before I was teaching around the world on Skype. Whole different ball game now. But Evan, great guy, great player. So it's not very often, excuse me, that you get that Lennon McCartney type. I don't know what else to use, but it's like, you know, when two players fit together really well together, and that's Kevin and Elliott. Or Kevin Elliott is one guy's name. Kevin and Evan. Kevin and Evan. It's got a good ring to it. But anyways, Kevin hit me up. You're funny, dude. You sent me a show that you played. I guess it was in Pomona with your band Teenage Exorcists. And you wanted me to transcribe your solo. So I don't know if you ad-libbed this or had part of it worked out, but it's really a catchy solo. So this is, you know, a CVT mini guitar lesson for my buddy Kevin. And good job on the solo. So I have the tabs here. Also, type in Teenage Exorcists on YouTube and be sure to add them on YouTube. I think you guys have a channel, you better. And on Facebook, because I know you guys got a Facebook page. Go like their Facebook page if you're digging their music. They're good, man. And they love the Beatles, you know. Right off the bat, if you love the Beatles, you're all right. You know what I mean? So, anyways, Kevin, here's your solo. Starting at 149, you said it was standard tuning. We have, and I put it in little time-stamped chunks for you. That's the first one. So I'm just gonna teach it in those chunks rather than play the live time solo. But you know, you go into the and it moves on from there. So timestamp 149, we got 9G, 10B, and here's what you did, Kevin. You hit them both, and then you vibratoed them. And then you stayed there, and you went 3 more times without vibratoing. From there, go to 11G, keep your middle finger on 10B. Of course, you can, I'm not sure what fingering you use, but this just kind of made sense to me. Twice. Little pieces of chords. Very melodic. Move that up a whole step to 13, 12 GB twice. And then 14th fret GB, I would just bar that with the 3rd finger. And then back to 13, 12 GB. There is a short rest at that point. So. Oops, missed the last note. Then 11G vibrato. And at 154 is our next timestamp. This nice little catchy melody. 10, 12 on the B. Pick the 12 again, bend, release. And then the 10B. So you got to 11G vibrato. Then you kind of did a tag off of that and went 10, 12, 12, bend, release again. To 10B. And then altered that to a 9B. So from the 154 timestamp you got and then I really like this little kind of shred riff you did here. 9B, pick, hammer 10, pull off to 9, and then go to 11G, back to 9B, then 11 on the G. I'd look at that as a mini subgroup, but Kevin is all about subgroups, and Evan. It works, man. You just keep repeating it. Then 9G, pick, hammer 11, pull 9, hammer 11, pull 9, and end on 11D vibrato. Of course, if you want to, if you're going quicker on it, you can do more hammer pulls. Whatever suits you. 202. We have a short rest here, and not a unison bend, it's a different type of bend. We're going 16G and 17B. In the tabs I put 3rd and 4th finger. I know you, Kevin, you'll do whatever suits you on your fingering. And we back that. We're gonna bend, hit them both, bend the G a whole step. Twice. As you're holding the second one, and you were kind of turning in your performance, because I was trying to see hand placement, but it sounded like you kept the bend and went down, up, down, up, down, up. So just over that. So like a, and then you hit it again, and then I'm hearing 17th fret on the B and E. So you must have kind of barred the pinky down and went down, up, down. So you'd have really cool. Short rest, and then a little more shred stuff here. 14E. I'm assuming you're picking it like this. It makes sense because it is one of the faster parts in your solo. 14E up, down up on 17, 14B, and then down on 16G. That in itself is already a subgrouped riff. Experiment with the fingering. Bend the 17B. So it's rest, then goes 17, 14, 17 on the B. And then you're going to pick the 14, hammer 17, pull off to 14. So from the 17th fret B string bend, you have down on 16G, up on 14B, down on 16G, pinch harmonic, vibrato. I don't quite have the sustain on this amp to do that, but you were able to get a pinch out of that. Pinches are harder to do, I noticed, further up the neck than over here. But that's a gain thing and pickup thing. So you have, I don't know if you do a pinch there every time, that's your call. But you're gonna bend it and then release, pull off to 14. So to 16D. So 209 is our next timestamp. You go 16D to 14, 16G. Then pick the 16G again, bend, release. Then 16th fret, stay right where you're at, and it sounded like you were just doing some alternate picking over it, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. However many times you throw it in there, it was hard to hear, but basically if you went from the bend release, you got. And then we flip the page to page 2, and you end it with a bend release on 16G, going into 14G. And your last timestamp, the way you finish this solo, which is very nice, 13G, this is their 212 timestamp. 16D, and then 13, 14G. So the back side of page 2, that's all you have is this. So. And your drummer, on the floor drum, all that stuff. Your band's awesome, man. I feel like a proud papa of you, Kevin, and you, Evan. You're both great guitar players, and not just great guitar players, but great musicians and songwriters. And you got that. Keep doing your thing. Do not stop. Boom. Learn your E suspended chord. It's very important. All right, man. Love you much, Kevin.